I can feel that I'm starting to get a little too comfortable with Chad now that we live together. You know, in the beginning, you try so hard, you care what you look like. I'd go get Brazilian waxes all the time. Now I'm just trying to not scare kids at the pool. It's a different level of effort I'm willing to put in. Now I just tell my wax lady the same thing that Chad tells the guy who trims his beard. I'm just like, take a little off the sides, be careful around the lips. Let's not get crazy. I am pretty shocked at the lengths that young girls now are willing to go to attract boys. I don't know if you guys have heard of this trend through TikTok called vabbing. Okay, I just found out about this. Apparently, some teenage girls now, before they leave the house, are sticking their fingers down there and then wiping it on their neck to try to use their pheromones to attract boys. The confidence of Gen Z is so fucking wild and truly disturbed. I mean, cold day in hell that you would catch a millennial or older wiping anything from this area on their neck like goddamn potpourri. That was so not the message taught to us about this area by our elders, right? They were like, hey, lock up your shame. I'm going, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. We didn't even want anybody to know we had a vagina. And we were just walking through middle school like, okay, conceal and carry. Okay. Nobody see it, nobody smell it. Just spraying 17 pumps of Bath & Body Works cucumber melon. Just smell like every Lyft driver's car. Just insanity. Yeah, our sex ed teachers didn't talk to us about this area like it was hot sauce. They were like, hey y'all, it's good on everything. Get it out there. No, they talked to us about it like it was black licorice. They were like, hey, not everybody's gonna like that. Oh, okay. You stay humble. Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah. And we did, we're a humble generation. Anybody here have a teenage daughter? Well, don't smell their neck. Yeah, that is not lip gloss. Sounds like a town hall meeting in here. You guys are like, oh, hey! This is an outrage! I feel like there might be some interesting phone calls on the drive home tonight. Put your fucking sister on! I do actually want to try and keep the magic alive with Chad for as long as I can. And my ex and I got pretty gross together toward the end. He and I always lived in a place that only had one bathroom, and he would go in there and take 45-minute man shits. And I finally asked him, I was like, hey, why does it take you so long to do that? And he goes, well, my doctor told me that it's bad to push, so I don't push. I just sit and I let it fall out. I was like, what are you, a geisha? What are you trying to take these dainty shits for? You're a man. Just grab onto something, fire it out, get the fuck out of there. We can't wait for the stars to align, Mulan. It's Sunday, we got errands to run. Go, get out. So he went in there one day for one of his sessions. And I knew it was going to be a session because I could hear him lock the door. which he always only did for number 2. And I didn't know why. I think I know now. I think you dudes have this poo phobia that while you're sitting there all vulnerable, you're afraid we're gonna like bust the door down and jump on your lap and start tickling you. Like, I'm not Steve-O. Why would I do that? I would never do that. So he's in there, door locked, and on this day, our buttholes had synced. And I was like, oh no. Because I have IBS, so when I gotta go, I gotta go. So I texted him, and I was like, hey, I'm about to shit my pants. Siren emoji. Fire emoji. Making it crystal clear. He doesn't respond. I can hear his phone get my text, and I hear him just swipe out of it and continue to watch Parks and Rec. I'm like, you motherfucker. So now I realize I do not have access to a toilet, and I've got some demons coming down the chute. I am in apocalypse survival mode. So I start frantically looking around our apartment for a substitute toilet. The first thing I see is the kitchen sink. I know. Right away I was like, too high. It's a lot of gymnastics I'm not qualified for. Next thing I see is my ex's favorite hat, which emotionally felt like the right choice, because I was ready to soft serve him some piping hot justice. But I was like, ooh, that's a small surface area. I'm not confident in the aim. You guys know how I feel about urine samples. It's like, if you can't pee in a cup, you can't poop in a hat. That's a Dr. Seuss book we all grew up with. Everybody knows you can't do that. And so I looked, and I I had to shit in an empty cardboard Amazon box in my own living room like an old homeless man. That changes you as a person. I was just squatting and crying. Our cats walked up to me and booped noses. I was like, get out of here, go. They just watched me from the corner with giant eyes. They're just looking at me like, oh, you are one of us. Neat. And after I was done, I told my friends what had happened, and they were all like, why don't you just poop in your cat's litter box? And I was like, because I'm not trying to dominate them for the rest of their lives. Do you understand what a deranged power move that would be? To just bring the heat like that? And just dunk on them? That would be like if you shit in your baby's diaper. Your child would be taken from you. There are rules to this life. But I tell you guys this to tell you, I've been trying to hide that version of me far away from Chad. I don't ever want Chad to meet gross Kelsey, right? In warehouses, you know, they have those signs. It's like 32 days since last workplace incident. Well, I have a tiny one in my heart that says 1,842 days since I shit in a box. I'm trying to keep that number very high. But when Chad and I moved in together last year, we celebrated, we went out, we drank a bunch of tequila, and then the next morning, I got Chipotle. Bad choices. And we went back to our new place, and I went into one of the bathrooms to do my business. But it's a new bathroom to me, so I turned on what I thought was the fan. Turns out it was the heater. That's not what you want. That takes a normal number 2 smell and turns it into a Woodstock 99 porta potty. Immediately. So I'm in there sweating and panicking. I'm like, oh, fuck. And I finish up and I walk out and I close the door behind me, which is the universal sign for give it a sec. No one needs to go in here for the next 2 to 49 hours. Change your plans, change your route. Chad completely ignores this major sign that I'm throwing up at him. He just blows right by me and walks in there to get a Kleenex. My brain in slow-mo was like, don't go in there. And he came out and I was like, I am so sorry. Could you smell things? And he goes, I couldn't smell anything. You're fine. And I was like, oh, thank God. You might want to take a COVID test. Actually, don't waste a test. You have COVID. My asshole was the test, and you failed. And that's when Chad goes, I'm just kidding. I could totally smell that. Do you see the tears streaming down my face?